welcome to Everything and the TARDIS Console. Today I'm going to talk about Nyssa of Traken, a Doctor Who companion who was first introduced at the tail end of the 4th Doctor era and then went on to travel with the 5th Doctor. I always liked Nyssa, however, initially she didn't really stand out to me because of Tegan and to some degree also Turlo later, both of which are characters I like more than Nyssa and that I have stronger attachment to and feelings about. And that is still true. If you want to know the reasons for that though, and more about what I actually like and generally think about those characters, you'll have to request videos on them. Or just wait until I do them anyway. Anyway, while Nyssa wasn't really a standout companion for me initially, she has grown on me. I've come to enjoy her more and appreciate her more as time has passed, for a number of various reasons, which I'm going to go into in stages while also talking about what those reasons may have got me to appreciate about her. One reason for me reevaluating Nyssa is simply me growing up and changing and getting different kind of life experiences. Not anything specific, but things in general that have made me come to appreciate certain types of characters more than I perhaps used to before. Those characters generally being characters that are very kind and caring. I know some people detrimentally say that Nyssa is a bit of a goody two-shoes, but really, as I am now, I feel like there's nothing wrong with being kind and caring and wanting to help people and try and not just argue, though that can have its merits too. See the video on Tegan whenever I actually make that. Of course, kindness and a willingness to trust people until they prove untrustworthy can backfire on you. However, that's kinda true of almost every personality trait, so I don't get this goody two-shoes thing. I think that Nyssa, being a very kind and caring person, is not a bad thing, and I don't get why people think it is. Especially since she actually has the expertise to help in many cases, like she's specialized in bioelectronics and that kind of stuff, and so she is good at treating illnesses and whatnot. No, since she also has the ability to help sick people, it's a good thing that she actually wants to help sick people. Yeah, if everybody just was nice to each other, the world would be a better place. So I think that's a good trait, and it's a trait that I've come to appreciate more and more in characters as I've gotten older. I have rewatched stories since I've grown older and come to appreciate different traits in people, so I can appreciate her contribution to the TV stories more as I am now than I used to before. Another thing that has changed the way I see Nyssa are the Big Finish audio dramas, where they have explored the character more, she has been given even more depth, she's experienced romance, and also gone to the past of her own planet, which explored planets she comes from more, And also we've had audios with an older Nyssa who has a family and who is a mother too and has children and a husband and all that jazz. And is of course more of an adult, though she, despite being young in the TV series, still was fairly mature and acted rather sort of polite and serious when needed be, which made sense considering that she was of noble birth and the daughter of Council Tremas, Council obviously being a very high position on that planet. She's also had a chance to travel alone with the Doctor, where she can't be overshadowed by Tegan or Talo or anybody else. So having Nyssa as the only companion, she gives her more to do and more chances to show what she's made of. Speaking of which, I've also found this lovely YouTube video called Nyssa's Not Just a Pretty Face, I think. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you can watch it. And basically a tribute video to Nyssa that shows just how capable and quite frankly actually kind of badass she can be. And feel like people, including my earlier self, are a bit guilty of perhaps not really noticing just how much good and brilliant and badass stuff Nyssa actually did in the TV series. And this YouTube tribute video is very good at showing that. That's kind of another thing that I've seen and sort of realized that, wow, this is actually pretty awesome. Not just in the audios, but actually in the TV series. She's actually pretty awesome. So awesome and badass and brilliant. Like, she actually does things. She actually saves the Doctor a number of times and kind of like the Doctor in a way, while she prefers to talk her way out of situations and or help people rather than argue with them. If the situation calls for it, she will fight. If she has to, if all else fails, if people don't listen, she's not afraid to take up, some kind of weapon and actually fight if that is necessary. And, she can handle weapons and gadgets and, do things to something. I mean, even in her introduction story, she's, liberating the Doctor and Edric and her father from prison, basically. And that's pretty darn cool. So, yeah, that's another thing I noticed more and that have made me appreciate her more. Something else that I've come to appreciate more and more in regards to Nyssa is her relationship with Tegan. There's a nice video for that too, set to Dreaming by Blondie, that I watched a couple of times. Well, more than a couple. I'll leave a link to that too in the description. And that video can be seen either as a good representation of their common friendship. They're very good friends, and I think that works really well. Together they seem to be able to talk really well. Well, I think Nyssa is the kind of friend Tegan needs. I mean, Nyssa is a very good listener and one that tries to avoid arguing and who therefore don't feed Tegan's argument by arguing back, but rather, I think, a more calming effect on her. I think also because she has that effect on Tig and can also be, I think, a good friend to her and give back what she gets. Of course, the video can also be seen as a shipping video, which I am not at all opposed to. You know, if they work well as friendship, I think they can work well as a romantic couple too. And well, while we're on the subject of shipping, well, pick up the more shallow part of this, that being that as I grown up and realized that I'm bisexual, I've also come to further realize just how freaking gorgeous Sarah Sutton is. And for that matter, Jan Fielding would make a gorgeous, nice, awesome couple together. I think that should be ending this soon, but before I do, I would be remiss not to mention the actual person who requested this video, being Tim Bradley, who is the greatest Nyssa fan I have ever met. Or heard of. And I first came into contact with him because I was reading his reviews on Nyssa stories, and those reviews and the views and thoughts he puts forward about Nyssa and those have also affected the way I see her in a very positive way, obviously, since he loves Nyssa and Sarah Sutton very much, and I swear it's contagious. So, good job, Tim! In summary, Nyssa was initially not a very standout character for me, but with time I had grown to like more, partly because I've come to appreciate her kindness and caring more, and I have noticed her brilliance and badassness more, and I've also realized how gorgeous she is, and I've also been a bit smitten by Tim Bradley's love for the character. So those are my thoughts and feelings on Nyssa of Traken. I hope you enjoyed this, and particularly you, Tim, since you're the one who requested this. And that will be it for this video. Ciao!